Hi, this is Bret Crane, Educate Orc, with another reflection for my Boise State University class, Educational Games and Simulations, EdTech 532. With this quest, let me look at it here. This was modern narrative games, continuing on with the trend of quests that I've been doing. And this one focused on MMORPGs, or massively multiplayer online role-playing games. I always mix that up. It's an awkward acronym. That and alternate reality games. We watched a few different videos on. One was on Tron alternate reality games. I'm going to post all of these right here. I'm also going to post them in the comments section so you can see them here. These first ones that we watched have kind of a long URL, but go ahead and check them out. The first one was on a Tron alternate reality game. The next one was an I Love Bees, which was a Halo promotional game. And both of those deal with massive interactions with lots and lots of people. And later on, the next one, the one Dr. Chook, I believe is how you pronounce his name, was dealing with doing a Pac-Man style game where you would have these backpacks that would link up with GPS readings, so you would be able to identify where the person is real accurately. That made it a little more personal. I like that, but I see a different trend that I think would be really good for education. Now, I don't want to focus on the massively multiplayer online games, which are dealing majorly with going into a virtual environment. I think sometimes if you're in a distance learning situation, that can be real beneficial in drawing people together. But if you're in a classroom situation where you can have people doing alternate reality games or augmented reality games, and I'll get to that in a second, alternate reality games, where you might interact with those people. Sometimes I think the virtual world type of games where you're actually dealing just interfacing with the computer can sometimes, I think, maybe alienate people in the sense that you know those people and things like that, but you're not interacting with them as much as you can. And here's what I mean by that. Now, it mentions alternate reality games and ARG, but I'm going to differentiate that in that I've heard the term alternate reality games and augmented reality games. Now, I don't know if these are used synonymously, but I'm going to go ahead and call alternate reality games ones that are more massive in scale, in that you're changing the perceptual reality, in that you're presenting the players with an alternate circumstance of reality, and they are playing, and the tools that you use, the computer, the phone, the internet, those are just tools to go into that world. Augmented reality, at least in my mind, on the other hand, would just be that you're using an interface that overlays some type of virtual environment over the top of a real life environment. And let me show you these that I really like. One, there's a kind of a promo demo that's kind of interesting. It's called Augmented Reality and the Future of Education. I'm going to put this right along here so you can see it. Look it up. Also, look for it in the comments. And it gives you an idea of how you start seeing augmented reality more on a personal level with the students. And there's another one called Augmented Reality 3D Sketching, where you're modeling textbook or classroom type situations, but doing it in an augmented reality type of way, so you can model that just like you would in a 3D virtual environment that you would have to go into, like Second Life. And so you can set up models quickly, or manipulatives and things like that. This next one is called AR Chemistry, alternate or augmented reality chemistry, which is really interesting because it shows the process of binding different elements, and I think is one of the great beneficial things of it is whether it's dealing with solar systems or atoms and things like that. I think you can more easily represent things in this fashion so that you don't have misconceptions with students, because they're trying to visualize things often in a 2D flat representation, and you give it to them in a 3D virtual representation, and they visually get a better understanding of how that works. So I think that is really the key for this type of narrative games, is using that as kind of an extension of what you would explain in the classroom. You can add on to that, doing things like having that augmented reality in and about the school, the classroom, the town where the students are interacting, so they can go and do essentially, I don't know, I guess treasure hunts or scavenger hunts to find the information that they're trying to find, and have that information relate also to the locations that they're going to. So there's a lot of different ways you can use that, but I'm really excited about that more of a personal level of the augmented reality, that you have students interacting with each other, and that becomes just the tool to help them understand the material and also explain it to each other. So those are my thoughts on this quest, and thank you very much for listening.